I have done so much knitting in the last week. I've actually filmed a how much I knit in a week video over this last week, and it's going live today. Today's Tuesday, so it'll be live 2 days before this video is on YouTube. So if you haven't watched that, go and watch it. So I've got a lot of knitting done this week, and I can't wait to show you what I've been getting up to. Welcome to episode 108 of the Confessions of a Yarn Addict podcast. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through our website yarnaddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. So as I said, I've done a lot of knitting this week. Last summer I recorded a how much I knit in a week video, and I said then that I would do it again in the winter, and time's been running out, so I did it this last week, and it's live on YouTube on the day I filmed this, so 2 days before this video is on YouTube. So if you haven't watched it, I will link it below and at the end of this video. I did a lot better this week than I did last year. I got a lot of knitting done, so I can't wait to show that. I also got some new yarn arrivals. One is related to the project I'm working on. First, I'm going to talk about some news. I'm working on a really exciting project, which I will hopefully be able to reveal soon. It involves a knitting retreat in a southern European country. That's all I'm going to say. So make sure you sign up to my newsletter and subscribe here, and also follow me on social media so you don't miss out when the information is available. I've got some workshops coming up in April and May that I also want to mention. So 9th of April, I'm teaching finishing techniques at Spinny Yarn in Bobby Tracy in Devon. It's just south of Exeter, just off the A38. So you're coming from anywhere north of Exeter, it's really easy to get to. And you just go down the M5 and keep going on the A38 and turn off at Bobby Tracy. It's really, really easy. If you're coming from the southwest, from further southwest, from Cornwall or Plymouth, you just keep going up the A38 till you get to Bobby Tracy. Last time I was there, I think this workshop was fully booked, but I don't know whether it still is, because obviously cancellations and things can happen. So if you're interested in the finishing techniques workshop, do contact them, and I'll put their website details below and see if they've got any spaces. On the 16th of April, I'm teaching brioche basics. So if you want to learn how to knit basic brioche, let me just grab something brioche to show you. This is a little bit more than basic, but you will learn how to knit two-color brioche, how to fix some simple mistakes, how to read brioche patterns, and then depending on how you get on, some people may move on in the afternoon to do some increases and decreases, which is what you need to do to be able to create fancy patterns like this. That's on 16th of April at Spinny Yarn, and then on 9th of May I'm teaching mosaic knitting at Spinny Yarn. Mosaic knitting, and I forgot to get the sample out to show you. I'll try and insert a picture if I can, but it's a technique that uses two colours, but you only use one colour per row. So it's a really easy way of doing colour work without having to do stranded colour work where you work with two or more colours per row. So that is 9th of May at Spinny Yarn as well. And then on the 27th and 28th of April, I will be at Unravel in Wales. I'm really excited about that. First show of the year, as I had to pull out of Unravel in February. I've got so much to do before then though, so I'm going to have to start prepping this week. But I'm really excited about it. That is at the Royal Welsh Showground in Builth, Wales, in mid Wales, on the 27th and 28th of April. We'll start with my most recent project first. I just did this just before I came upstairs to film this. I walked the dog, and then I sat down and did a bit of knitting for about half an hour or a bit less, and I picked up my pink socks that I cast on the way back from Norway in March. Yeah, March. It's April now. It's only just 2nd of April. I was thinking it's April. March seems ages ago, but it's only 2nd of April. It's Easter. It's thrown me because Easter was so early this year. So I've knitted that this morning. So I think that's about, hang on, I've got 12 rows. I've got a row counter here, so that's 12 rows I've knitted this morning. I think I've got far enough now to start the gusset increases. So that's what I'm going to do next time I pick up these socks, which I don't know when that will be, but probably not for a few days. But I just wanted to pick something up to knit for a few minutes, and I just grabbed this and did a few rows of that this morning. The yarn I use for that is Rico Neon Sock Yarn, which I got when I was in Norway a few weeks ago. I've got another sock project that I've been making some progress on, and that is my what is it called? Cardigan warm sock yarn, warm sock yarn. Warm in Norwegian means warm in English. So I can't remember how far I got last time I talked about this on the podcast, because I hadn't put a marker in, but I don't think I'd finished this sock, because I think I finished that a few days ago. So I finished this sock. I worked on it a couple of times last week. We went out and about a couple of times, so I worked on it then, and then I finished, I think I finished it on Friday. Finished this sock. I did shadow wrap heels on this sock, which I haven't done before. I've done what's it called? Fish Lips Kiss heels once. So the Fish Lips Kiss heel is a pattern that you have to pay for on Ravelry. It's only the heel, that's all it is, but it's several pages long, and I tried it a couple of years ago when we were in Norway on a pair of socks for Simon, my husband, and I didn't like it. The first heel I did it twice because I wasn't happy with it. I can't remember how to do it because I only done it on that pair of socks. So I did the first heel twice and the second heel once, I think. So I did it 3 times in total, but it's over 2 years ago. So I understand that it's similar to shadow wrap heel. So I tried shadow wrap heel. I looked up a tutorial on YouTube. I've never been that happy with short row heels, to be perfectly honest, which is why I don't normally do it. Problem with this yarn is that it is a DK sock yarn, and it's 100 grams, and it has 260 meters. And I was a bit worried about how far up the leg that would get me. As it turned out, I don't think I had to worry because this is quite a long sock. It's for my husband. He's a UK size 9, so he hasn't got huge feet. I knitted from the toe up, and I decided, rather than do my usual afterthought heel, I thought if I do a short row heel, I can do it while I'm doing the sock and then carry on. So I know exactly when I need to finish, because I only have a tiny bit of yarn left. I thought I had it in here, but I think I've left it downstairs. But I'm not 100% happy with the sock heel. So this side looks okay. And this is my problem with short row heels generally, whichever short row heels I've tried. This side looks quite messy. And can you see here? There's quite a big hole. So I made a mistake here, I think, when I first did this short row heel, because there's like a bit of green yarn here, which I don't think should be there. And then there's a stitch here, which is quite loose, and which I can actually pull up like that. So what I'm going to do, hopefully this afternoon, is I'm going to record a video where I talk frankly about my bad heel, and where I fix this hole here. I think we do this and we feel like we are really bad knitters when we do this, and that, you know, we can't do things, and professional knitters, which I guess I'm one, don't make mistakes like this. Well, we do. I probably should have unpicked it when I did it, but I didn't. And to be quite honest, even though I like this yarn, I've actually got this yarn in a different color to knit socks myself. I'm not enjoying this color. I don't really like orange at all, and I'm not that keen on red, although I'm wearing reddish today. I don't mind this kind of red, but I'm not that keen on like orange red, and I'm not keen on orange. So although I like some of the colors in this yarn, I don't really like the color overall in this yarn. But my husband picked it out in the yarn shop near where my parents live when we were there for Christmas. So I thought I will knit him a pair of socks. And yeah, I'm not 100% happy with my heel, but I think once he starts wearing it, I don't think he's going to care. I don't think he's going to notice. And that's the thing, things that we notice as knitters, as looking not perfect, non-knitters don't always notice that. So I'm going to record a video, hopefully this afternoon, where I fix this situation here. That will be out, don't think next week, the week after, it's in 2 weeks on the Tuesday. So I finished the first sock and then I cast on for the second sock and I knitted the toe and I set up for I started the rib so that this is ready for like out and about knitting now. I can just motor up the foot till I get to the heel. We are going away in a couple of days, so I should get some time to work on this then. It lives in the hallway, and if we go out and about, I just put this in my bag so that I got something to knit on if we stop for tea or coffee somewhere. The main project I've been working on this week is my pixie yarn cardigan. And before I show you the project, let me show you the yarn that arrived. Because if you have been watching recent podcasts, and if you watched my Tuesday video this week, how much I knit in a week, you will know that I was worried about having enough yarn. So I ordered some more yarn. Pixie Yarns has been closed. Their website has been closed for a few weeks because they were at East Anglia Yarn Festival. We reopened, I think, not last weekend, but the weekend before. So not the Easter weekend, but the weekend before. So I ordered a couple of skeins. I ordered this one because I thought it looked very similar to one of the colours I used in the cardigan. And I immediately wound it and started knitting with it. And then I also ordered this one, which is just gorgeous. It's probably a little bit brighter on screen than it is in real life. It's called Yarnies, and it's a fingering weight sock yarn from Pixie Yarns, or Pixie Yarn rather. And it is 425 meters per 100 gram, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And this color is just gorgeous. I am very, very tempted to order another 3 of these and knit myself a sweater in it because I just love this color so much. And because I believe it was a one-off colorway for the East Anglia Yarn Festival, I'm worried that it won't be available again. So I am very tempted to order another 3. I think I can do a sweater for myself in 4 skeins. I've done a cardigan for myself a few years ago in 3 skeins with a lace pattern, and that's fine. I put on a little bit of weight since then, so it's probably a little bit on the small side now, but it's a little bit short. So I think adding another skein, I would be able to make something that would fit me better, a bit longer and a little bit wider. I could do with 3/4 length sleeves, so that'd be fine. So I am thinking about ordering another 3. I did look on the website. I nearly went for it, but obviously it's hand-dyed yarn, so it's not cheap, but I'm very tempted to get another 3 because I just love that color so much, and I feel like if I don't do it, I'll probably regret it. Let's talk about this project. So that's all I have left of the yarn I ordered. So if you watch the how much I knit in a week video, you will see that I ended up ripping out a bunch of this. I can't remember how many rows now, but I talk about it in that video on Tuesday. And I'm not going to talk about this too much because I talk about it a lot in the how much I knit in a week video, but I have, and it's a bit difficult to show you because I'm on the button band, so I'm doing the whole button band in one go, so it's a bit of a mess really because I've got all the stitches for all the way around here on one needle. I don't know how much you can see that. Let me show you the back, that's a bit better. So as you can see, it's quite colourful, so I used a one-off colourway up here. I can't remember what it's called, but I think maybe it was like a previous Advent colourway or something from a couple of years ago. And then this pink is a mini skein. The rest of the cardigan I used a 100 gram skein, which I got at Stitch Fest in 2022, and I think that was an exclusive either birthday colorway or Stitch Fest colorway or something like that. And then I've used 3 sets of mini skeins. I used a couple of 20-gram mini skeins from the summer solstice set from last year. I've used the spring equinox set and the winter solstice or Yule solstice, Yule equinox, I don't know, something. I'll put more details. I've got it written down somewhere. So since last week I have knitted from where that marker is, all this, where that monkey marker is there, all this, and that includes ripping back. I ripped back, I can't remember how many rows it was, 66 rows or something maybe, I can't remember. So I finished this, cast off. I will show you a video now where I show you what it looks like when I tried it on when I was considering whether it was long enough to cast off. So I'll just show you that now. So I come upstairs to try on this cardigan. Obviously I'm going to knit a button band all the way around, so we'll make it a little bit smaller here and pull this together a bit. I've just clipped it together here just to kind of make it hang a bit better. Hang on. Okay, so I'm just making sure the shoulders are sitting properly, and I'm just checking the length. Got my project bag here because the yarn is still attached. So I think this is long enough. I'm quite happy with this length. So I might just do a couple more rows and then cast it off and then knit the button band before I do the sleeves, just so I can check the fit properly and make sure I'm happy with it. So after I cast it off, I started picking up stitches for the button band because I thought it's a good idea to do the button band first, because then it makes it easier to measure the length of the sleeves because I can see the fit around here better. And I was sitting there thinking, because normally when I pick up stitches for a button band, I tend to sort of just pick up 3 stitches for every 4 rows, and that usually works out about right. Thing is, most of my garments are in stocking stitch or rib, or some combination of stocking stitch and something else like lace or something. This is in garter stitch, and a garter stitch, the height of a garter stitch row is smaller than stocking stitch row. So I need fewer stitches than I have if this was in stocking stitch. Well, I did think about this when I was casting off, because I was a very long cast off. I was thinking I should really measure my garter stitch tension and then measure the length I'm picking up over and work the maths out properly so I pick up the correct number of stitches, but I did not. I just picked up 3 stitches for every 4 rows like I normally do. And I've done, I think, 11 rows. I've only got a couple of rows left. I've done the buttonholes. I got quite small buttons. I did like a double yarn over buttonhole. And on the other side, I even marked where the buttons should go, because I hate putting the buttons in. So I've even marked where the buttons should go. I'm not happy with this. I don't know how easy it is to see it, but can you see it looks a little bit puckered? So I put half of the button band, or not half the button band, half of the length up to the V-neck on a stitch shoulder last night, and it just doesn't look, it's just I have too many stitches for a button band basically. At the back of the neck it's fine, because I picked up 1 stitch per stitch I cast on for the back of the neck. I think for the V-neck it's not as bad for the V-neck shaping as it is for the straight bit below the V-neck, but I realized this last night and I didn't want to pick everything. I didn't want to rip it out because I have probably like over 550 stitches per row and I've done 11 rows. That's a lot of knitting. So if you have say 550, 11 rows, that's 6,050 stitches, a lot of stitches over 2 days, I think. So I didn't do a lot of knitting yesterday, and I did less once I realized how much of a mess this button band was. I also feel like the tension feels a bit looser than the rest of the stockings, the rest of the garter stitch. So I was thinking, do I just go back and pick back to the first row and then do a smaller needle size? But then I thought no, because I don't have a ton of this yarn left. So when I started the button band I had 59 grams I think, and I haven't weighed it now. But I was thinking if I unrip the whole button band and just pick up fewer stitches, I will use less yarn and it'll also be quicker to reknit. So it won't be as bad as I think. So that's one of the jobs I need to do this afternoon, is to take the plunge and rip out this button band and measure the tension on the, probably on the back of the garment, work out my tension per centimetre and measure my button band and work out exactly how many stitches I need to pick up so that it looks good. Anyway, I'm not happy about that because I'm desperate to finish this. I really wanted to finish it last week. I've been waiting for some yarn for a new design, which is actually due next week. So that's never going to happen. And the yarn hasn't arrived yet. So as soon as the yarn arrive, I have to really work flat out on that. And I really want to finish this before that arrives, and having to redo that button band is a big setback. I spent quite a lot of time knitting on it on Saturday and a little bit yesterday. I could have knitted a lot more yesterday than I did, but I was a bit lazy, mainly because I knitted a lot over the weekend. Anyway, I moved it into my Jenny Crow project bag that I think I talked about last week, and because my Hohi leather tote bag that I had been using was getting a bit small, I was having to like shove it in, so I moved it into this, which is bigger. I think I'm going to shorten these handles though, because they're a bit annoying when I carry this around, but I can just cut it and tie it up again. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed with myself for not being more careful about how many stitches I picked up or not noticing it earlier, but that's when you try and do shortcuts, that's what happens. I've had some other yarn arrive as well, and it's for magazine designs. So I'm not sure that I can show you. Let's give you a very quick sneak peek. I've had quite a lot of yarn arrive, but not the yarn I'm waiting for. So for West Yorkshire Spinners, we have Pure, Bo Peep Pure, 100% Falklands wool, which I haven't used before, and we have some exquisite 4-ply, which I have used before and I absolutely love. So that's for design deadlines coming up in May and June, I think, or they're both May. And then I got some yarn from King Cole, KC Collection Naturally Soft 4-ply. I've used this before as well, I think, but I can't think what for. I'm pretty sure I've used it. This is 90% blue face Leicester wool, 10% Afghan cashmere. I may not have used this exact yarn before, but I have used KC collections from King Cole. I think that's the kind of more upmarket luxury collection. Gorgeous yarn, feels really nice. Can't remember what that's for off the top of my head now, but I need to sort out those deadlines this week and ask my sample knitters if they're available and things like that, and get going with that this week. Talking a little quickly about what's coming up, what I want to cast on after I eventually finish that cardigan. So last week, no, it wasn't last week, it was the week before, I knitted a couple of swatches. So I've had this yarn for a couple of months now, I think. Organic Trio by Cardigan, which is a Swedish, no, not Swedish, it's Danish company. 50% organic merino wool, 25% organic cotton, 25% silk. I have this in my shop in this colour, a pale pink and a green, and I ordered it because I wanted to see what it was like. I'd actually bought a couple of balls in the yarn shop and knitted with it, and I did think I wanted to knit something in it for myself, and I was ordering Cardigan anyway, another Cardigan, so I ordered 3 packs of this, and this is the one I've swatched with, and I think I have enough at the moment to knit a sweater for myself. So I don't know whether it's going to be a sweater or a cardigan yet. I knitted a pink cardigan a few years ago, nearly 3 years ago maybe, but I ended up not grading it and releasing the pattern because I'd chosen to combine 2 stitch patterns, and I didn't do the grading for all the other sizes before I knitted it. And when I did, I realized that I can only make the stitch counts or the stitch repeats work in 3 sizes. So I decided not to publish it, which is really annoying because I really like it. A little bit small in me at the moment because I have put in a little bit of weight in the last 3 years, so, but I really love it, and it's gorgeous and it's bright pink. So I wanted to redo that design using one of the stitch patterns, which is this one, which I really like. It's quite sort of lacy and open in this one. I don't know whether to do it as cardigan or a sweater. I might do it as a sweater actually. And then I also swatched this, which is the same stitch pattern I used for a design for a sweater in knitting magazine last year, and then especially knitting magazine, I did it on the hem, and then it was 5x1 rib, I think, the rest of the way. But I'm thinking about doing something with this stitch pattern as an all over stitch pattern. So the question is, do I want to knit both of these swatches, both of these designs in this yarn? And which one do I want to do first? I think I'm leaning towards this one first. That's the right way up. I think I'm leaning towards this one first. I think because I've just knitted a cardigan, I might do a sweater. I am very, very tempted to do the mass thread this week and cast on, but I really need to finish that cardigan before I do, because once the yarn arrives for my deadline next week, I need to get cracking on that. I'm also sitting and looking at my oh, my mind's gone completely blank. Truly Hooked advent calendar, which is hanging on my wall here, and that was going to be my next design I cast on. But I think I'm going to leave that till later in the summer. I want to knit it up and write the pattern, have it ready for release in the autumn. So I might leave that till the one afterwards. I just feel, because it's quite colourful, I just feel like I want to knit myself. This is quite a light fabric, and I just think it'd be perfect for like a light sweater for the summer when it's a little bit chilly in the evenings, or when I'm outside or whatever. So I really want to knit this. And I like this yarn. I want to see how it knits up. So I think this is what I'd like to cast on next. If I didn't have this deadline, I would say I want to cast this on and try and finish it by the end of April. I think that's a little bit of a push. With this deadline, that's not going to happen, but I'm thinking I would like to finish it maybe in the first half of May. And then I might use this stitch pattern for something else. I don't know. But those are my plans at the moment. They can change. Highly likely they will change. Okay, I think that's it for this week. If you missed Tuesday's How Much I Knit in a Week video, please go and watch it. It was a lot of fun. And if you missed last summer's How Much I Knit in a Week video, I'll link that one as well. I'll link them below and at the end of this video. Next week, there will be a video. And I can't remember what that is. So let me just check my notes. On Tuesday, they will... Oh, yes, I have a new needle case. For my interchangeable needles, and I'm doing a review of that next Tuesday. I filmed it last week. I was going to show it to you on here, but I'm not going to. I'll show it to you next week. But there's a video coming on that needle case on Tuesday next week, where I review it and show you how I organize it with my interchangeable needles. I've used it quite a few times in the last few days because I've been getting needles in and out, or other tools in and out for various reasons. So next week I will show you on the podcast what the needle case looks like, if I remember, and tell you what I think of it, if I remember. So that is the videos that are coming up and the videos that are out this week. Happy April. I can't believe it's April. I wish it would get a bit warmer. It still feels quite wintry here. Weather has not been great. We had a lot of rain over the Easter weekend. We had a very quiet Easter. Didn't do an awful lot. The girls were not home. Emily, my youngest one, was home till Friday. She went back on Friday. She took the dog with her back to Wales, and then my oldest daughter came home on Sunday evening and brought the dog back down with her. So Saturday and Sunday we didn't have the dog, so we didn't do an awful lot. Very quiet, which is why I got a lot of knitting done. Probably the quietest Easter we've ever had, I think. And then yesterday we went to Padstow, which was lovely, but as it was Bank Holiday Monday, it was absolutely packed, which I knew it would be because Padstow is very, very popular Cornish seaside town, and it rained on and off. But it was lovely. We had a wander around. We got pasties. We bought some beach towels in a pouch thing for a holiday from, I think the company's called Dock and Bay. I'd seen them online just over the weekend, and we went into a shop and they had them there, so we looked at them and bought one each for a holiday in June. And went into a few other shops in Padstow. It's got some lovely shops in Padstow. It's quite an upmarket, so it's not a cheap place, but I really enjoyed that. And this week I'm just going to try and catch up on work. I got Friday off, so I got 3 days to catch up on everything, which is not a lot of time. Okay, I'm starting to ramble, so let's finish this video now. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. If you have any comments or views on what I've been talking about, please share them below. Tell me what you were knitting over Easter. And make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe here and to my newsletter. They'll be linked below. And follow me on social media, especially Instagram. That will also be linked below, because I will hopefully reveal my Southern European adventure very soon. I'm so excited about it. It's a while off, because these things have to be planned a long time in advance. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to share it with you. Hopefully in a week or two. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week.